Hey there! This week, we had another installment of a series, Messy, with a continued look at how the church in Corinth had gotten a bit out of whack. Pastor Jim spent some time illuminating how we do things at Mech and a bit of the why behind that. So let's take a minute and revisit what they had to do with the Corinthians and what it has to do with us. Now, in chapters 11 and 14 of Paul's letter to the Corinthians, he begins to address some ways the church had been anything but inviting to newcomers. Effectively, their behavior was falsely representing the Christian life and turning people away. The Corinthians were misleading what the Christ life was about in the way that they dressed, acted, spoke, and worshiped. Basically, everything about them gave the wrong impression about what Christ could do in their lives. While that might sound like a faux pas to our modern ears, it is a huge deal, because the entire mission of the church was and still is to bring people closer to a living and loving God. We see this over and over again in the New Testament books of the Bible. In the book of Matthew, we read, "Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit." And in the New Testament book of John, we hear Jesus say, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you." Jesus is saying, go and show people who I am by loving them the way that I do. Help them get to know me through your actions. Because we know ourselves, that can be really daunting. We are painfully aware of how imperfect we are, and so being Jesus to a watching world can feel like an impossible task. But there are a lot of small ways we can do this, whether you attend Mech online, in person, or not at all. For those of us who attend Mech online, helping to create a welcoming environment in the chat is a great place to start. If someone mentions they are new, simply welcome them in. When someone asks a question, let them know they aren't alone in asking questions or having doubts. These small acts might not seem like a big deal, but they can go a long way in helping people to feel encouraged and that they are welcome as they are. Those of us who attend in person can follow suit in welcoming new faces. It doesn't need to be over the top, but if you see someone who is carrying a first-time guest bag, you could simply give them a warm smile and a hello. That goes so far in creating an environment where people can feel at ease. Finally, if you don't attend Mech at all, or if you do, representing Christ in the world is a huge part of the church's mission. The way we speak to people at work, in our neighborhood, on social media are all ways we portray the Christian life and heart of God. With more than 2 billion people identifying as Christians in the world, I can't help but feel that if we were more intentional about Christ's radical love and following his command to love others as he loves us, our world would be and look so much different.